Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of these designs. They were done using Loren Sherman's script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these 4 different stems to make our consonants. And vowels are a bit trickier. They're smaller circles and they have different positions depending upon if they're attached on one of these 4 different consonant stems and if they're by themselves on the line of the word circle. So this is the word circle line and shows the vowels relative to them. And then this is kind of a loose consonant guide of where they would be relative to that. So anyway, here we have an example of all of the different combinations of consonants and vowels that can be put together. So here we have an A by itself on the word circle, then a B A because this is a B stem, then a J A because this is a J stem, a T A because this is a T stem, and a T H A. So anyway, that's the rest of the examples there. Let's go ahead and hop to our design. You read the script bottom counterclockwise, and that's true for the words as well as the sentences. But if you imagine an infinitely large sentence, a circle, the bottom of the circle going counterclockwise would start at the bottom and then just kind of keep going to the right if it were an infinitely large circle, so that would be left to right on an infinitely large circle. So that's why these are read left to right. So anyway, here's our first word. Here's the bottom of the word circle, and this is our first stem. It's a shallow divot, so it's in this row, and it's got no dots and no lines ending on it, so this is just a T. And it's got a vowel, so you read the consonant and then the vowel. So this is a T and then an O because it's like a beat on a string. So an O is towards the middle and like a beat on a string. So if we look at the T stem, this would be a T-O. So T-O. Continuing on, here we have a deep divot. So it's in this row, and it's got one line ending on it. So it's a G. This line passes through, so it doesn't count. Then we have an E. So if we look at our word stem, an E, an I, and a U are all on that word line, but an I has a line going towards the middle, and a U has a line going outward. So this is an E because it's got no lines on it. So this is an E. Then we have a circle on the line of the word circle, so that's in this row, with no modifier, so that's just a TH. Then an E in the middle of that, so just like this E, except right in the middle of that stem. So if we look at a THE, so that's that. Then we have a shallow divot with 3 dots, which is an R. So together, and these are just the lines from, this is the line from the G, this is the line from the V on forever. So here we have the bottom of this word circle. This isn't a word circle line because it ends. A word circle line never breaks. It is just part of the consonants and stuff. But this is not a word circle line because it's got stuff that would be impossible to have in a word circle, like these gaps here. So here we have our first letter, and it is a deep divot with 3 lines, so that is an F. Here's that first line, second line, third line, and then we have an O on it, just like this O. Then we have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots, so that is an R. And then we have an E, and an E and an A on a T stem is hard to tell apart, so this is both the shallow divot with an A and a shallow divot with an E. If you follow the imaginary word circle that would continue through, an A would be outside that, an E would be on the line or inside that. And this is directly on the line, so it is an E. So this is F-O-R-E. Then we have a shallow divot with line passing through doesn't count, one line ending on it, passing through doesn't count. So that is a V, E, shallow divot, 3 dots, R. So F-O-R-E-V-E-R. Together forever. And here's our next little design. And it was meant to look kind of similar, even though this is 4 words and this is 2 words, so this one is substantially more detailed and intricate and a tiny bit longer. I tried to get them to look pretty similar with the layouts and everything. So here we have our first word. Here's the bottom of our word circle in our first letter. It's a shallow divot with nothing on it, so that is a T. And then we have a deep divot with 1, 2 lines, so that would be an H. Let me explain these lines really quick. So even though this looks like a circle, it breaks right here. It does not continue through, and that's important because that makes this a line and not a vowel. So this is a vowel because the word circle continues, the vowel continues through and it makes a whole open circle and it breaks the consonant. These are lines because the consonant continues through and the circle breaks, so it's just lines, 1 line, 2 lines. And I do that here and here as well. So anyway, H, then we have shallow divot 3 dots, so an R, then an O, because it's inside the word circle, then a U because it's got a line going outwards. Circle on the line with 1 big dot is a GH, So Through, so through. And then we have our next word circle, and here's the bottom of it. And this really looks like the first stem, but it's just lines because it breaks here and here. So it's like this, except it's pretending to be a consonant, and it doesn't end on the word circle. So if this were a deep divot or one of these stems, the word circle would break right here. It would make a gap. So like this, or like that. And it doesn't, so this is just lines. Anyway, continuing on, here's our first actual stem. It is a T, because this dot, even though it's kind of close to this one, it's a little bit closer to this one, so this dot goes here. And then this A looks like it could be part of this word, but it's a little bit closer here, so it's part of this word, not this word either. So this is just a T. Turning around. This is just a safe place for this line to end on, because if it went on the back of this, then it would be both a U and an I. Right now it's just an I, because this only has one line going towards the middle. And we have a circle inside the word circle, so we're in this row. And we have 1, 2, 3 lines, so that is an M. And then an E right in the middle of that. So T-I-M-E, so time. Here's our next word, bottom of it, A, continuing around. Here's a circle inside the word circle with 1 line, so that's an N, 1 line circle inside the word circle. And then a 1, 2, 3 dot deep divot, so that would be a D. And this A here looks like it could be part of this word, but it's a little bit closer here. Even though this is just a stem line, this is a little bit closer here, so this A goes here. Anyway, here's our last word, bottom of it. Shallow divot, 1, 2, 3 lines. Shallow divot, 3 lines, S. Continuing around, here we have a circle inside the word circle with 1, 2 lines. Passing through doesn't count. So that would be a P. Continuing around, here we have an A outside the word circle. Then we have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 lines. So shallow divot, 3 lines, that's an S. Space doesn't have 2 S's in it, it has a C in it. This C is a trap. You don't use it unless it's in a proper noun or an acronym. You're supposed to replace any C's with an S or a K or a CH character, depending on what sound it makes. So space is a S at the end, so we put an S there. And then we have that E at the very end, like a beat on us, like on the line of the word circle. It's like that or like that. So S-P-A-S-E. So through time and space.